Okay, good morning. Today we're going over functional balance. Functional balance is very different from static balance. Static balance is where you just pick a pose and you balance into it. We're going to also work on that, but we're going to take it into functional balance, meaning we're going to do activities while balancing. And what makes up functional balance is actually the whole myriad of what makes fitness, which is you have to be able to stretch, you have to be able to strengthen, you have to balance, and then you have to coordinate. So it makes a little tetrahedron. And tetrahedrons are the most stable of three-dimensional shapes. But each one of these facets that we're calling it is very important in functional balance. So as we're doing functional balance, we're going to look at what it's going to be like to move in very simplistic motions. Then we're going to take it into complex motion. But you're going to see how strength is involved in this with it, and you're going to see how coordination and flexibility, all these things, these integral pieces, hold it together. Because it's easy to have it fall apart. And then we think we're aging, we're getting old, we're falling off balance, we're losing something. And it really comes down to we're losing some facet of the tetrahedron that gives us three-dimensional balance. So once again, we're going to start with our feet parallel, hips width apart. Here's your ASIS, here's your pubic symphysis. Midway in between is hips width apart. So this is really important, especially for today, because we're going to look at balance. So make sure those feet are parallel. We're going to push down big toe and the corresponding metatarsal head, the outer four toes and the corresponding metatarsal head, but especially that pinky toe. And finally your heel. That makes the 3 points of that tripod. And now we're going to put 1/3 the weight through the balls of the feet, 1/3 the weight through the toes, and finally 1/3 the weight through the heels. Now we go time under tension here. As your calves go on, your quads go on. And now we're going to do first chakra, your pelvic floor, second chakra, your lower abs, third chakra, your upper abs. You're going to draw your shoulder blades down and back. You're going to get your head over the top of your body. And you're into really good posture in this moment. So we're first going to look at static balance. So we're going to balance up onto our left leg. So what I want you to do is just pick up your right leg. Notice if you had to push off your leg. Notice if any ancillary balance is going on, like you're counterbalancing with your arms or your opposite leg or your head or your neck. You shouldn't have to. Keep your core on. This is time under tension. And good. We're going to just put that right foot down. Notice if you're keeping your feet parallel, abs are nice and tight. You're going to lift this leg up and you're going to balance. Notice if you had to push off or if you could just balance. Abs are engaged, shoulder blades are down and back. Just see if this balance feels any different. This is static balance. And we're going to put our foot back down again. Now we're going to take it slightly functional. You're going to balance on your left foot, take your right foot off the ground. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy and you're going to close your eyes. So we've lost one of our senses, and that's the sense of vision. And this is where people make the big mistake. I have poor balance. And what has happened is they have gone into visual balance instead of somatic balance. That's why balance is tricky. It's many topics. And now balance on your right foot, eyes open first. Get your center, keep your foot up, left foot up off the ground. Get your balance, and now close your eyes. See what your balance is like. See if your ankle's doing the work or your hips are doing the work, your shoulders or your neck, and try to get back into your core. And good. Now Maria's going to join me. Come on in, Mas Maria. We're going to look at balance once again. And now we're going to look at it more functionally, but not quite totally functionally. We're going to stand on our left foot again. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. You're going to take your right leg forward, your left hand forward, your right hand back. This is called contralateral motion. This is what you would do if you were taking a step forward. So you got to be able to do this because we do this all day long. Abs are nice and tight. The average one takes 3,000 steps a day according to the STAR register. Abs nice and tight. And now you're going to take that leg back behind you off the ground. Your right hand goes forward, your left hand goes back. This is pushing off a step. If you lose the ability to do this, you will lose your butt. This is why we want to practice this one. Keep your abs engaged, keep your chest up. And good. We're going to balance back onto our right foot. Left foot goes forward, right hand goes forward, left hand goes back. Abs are nice and tight, lift tall. This is time under tension. Notice what your balance is like on this leg. Is it different than the other? Because that's what you're doing when you're walking. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. And good. Take that leg back behind you. Keep the abs engaged. Head's nice and erect. Knees over top of your foot. Smiles are up. And good. We're coming back onto 2 feet. So we're looking at functional balance today. So we're going to put our bodies into function. You're going to balance back onto your left leg. You're going to take your right leg back behind you. We're going to start out by taking the right leg back behind you, right hand out in front of you, left arm back. Abs are nice and tight, and you're just going to lift and lower. Now we're starting to do function. Your leg is straight. Your left leg is straight on this one. Abs are nice and tight.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to bring it forward because that's what we do in function. Abs are nice and tight. Hold your balance. No wobbling. Wobbling is telling you you're doing that when you're walking, so don't do that. Keep your core on, time under tension. This is functional balance. Don't use your mouth. Keep breathing. Smiles are up. Woo! What number?
9.
Okay, stay here, knee is high. Now we're gonna lift it above the level of the hip. Sucking your tummy, once again, functional balance. Keep your core on, don't fall off balance, head's over the top of your foot. You can't do this without keeping your head over the top of your foot. Good, take your leg back behind you. Abs are nice and tight. Left hand forward, right hand back, left leg is back behind you. Watch knee alignment, abs are nice and tight. Here we go. You're gonna lift your leg back behind you. Abs are engaged. And now we're gonna bring it through and back behind you. Sucking that tummy. So right now we're doing this in what we call long angles of your standing leg. And this one should be super easy, woo, because we do it all day long. Hold that balance, keep your core on. Can't look at Annie. Okay, now keep that knee high, lift up. Notice if you're falling over in one direction, that will be the direction you fall over when you do fall. Good, leg down. Feet parallel, you should feel your hips now, hip circles. This is how you loosen up the hips. Sucking that tummy, shoulder blades are down and back. Try not to move your head. Yeah?
9.
Opposite direction. Keep your abs engaged. We're moving through our core. This is what we want to be in the habit of, is moving from the hips and not from the knees, feet, hips, shoulder, or knees, feet, shoulders, or neck. You want to move from the hips. Okay, so we're going to do what we just did, but we're going to do it again. So we start out, I'm thinking, because I forgot what leg we started with. It's this one. Now we're going to bend the front leg. Abs are nice and tight. We're looking at shorter angles in the front standing leg. Right hand forward, left hand back. You're going to lift, lower that rear leg. We're going to keep this leg bent. I know you're going to want to straighten it because it's a way of cheating, because we like the long angles. Okay, now we're going to bring it through and put it back. Oops. Hold your core, hold your balance. Don't straighten your left leg. Keep that left leg bent. Okay, now keep that leg forward, keep this leg bent, your left leg bent, and you're bringing your knee to your chest. Pretending to be the Heisman Trophy.
Okay.
Okay, good. We're gonna switch sides. We won't do that again. Abs are nice and tight. Front knee is bent. Abs, 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 abs. Okay? We're going to lower that rear leg off the ground because we're working on functional balance. Smiles are up. Okay, now we're going to bring that leg through. Keep that front leg bent. Keep your balance. Don't use your mouth. Shoulder blades are down and back. Smiles are up. Notice the angulation Maria has on her spine as we bring our knee forward, chest up though. So Maria has a straight spine, but it's angled forward.
Okay.
Good. Come back in standing, hip circles. And now we're gonna go in the opposite direction. I know that wasn't 10. Okay. That's good enough. 5 and 5 equal 10. Suck in your tummy, shoulder blades are down and back. Now we're really gonna look at the functionality of it as we take our leg forward. And you're gonna take your foot off the ground now. We do this normally with our foot down. We're gonna do it without our foot down. We're gonna hinge forward. And then we're gonna come back up. You want a straight spine. Your right hand is forward. Miss Maria.
Oh, sorry.
Keep that foot off the ground as you do this. This is functional balance. You should actually feel more anchored doing this because you're fully committed to one leg. A number?
5.
You sure? Abs are nice and tight, spine is straight. No pressure in your low back. If you feel pressure in your low back, you have shifted the work out of your abs and your core and you have put it into your low back. We're working time under tension, so that means we're working our booty and our quad.
10.
Oh my goodness, where'd my balance go? It's this roller, I'll move it. Okay, you're taking your left leg back behind you. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. Front knee is bent, chest is up. Take that rear foot off the ground, hold it back behind you as you hinge forward, and then come back up. Keep the toes off the ground. Keep breathing. So you have to have balance with functionality. So this would be picking up something off the ground. Hold that balance, notice when you break down or fall off balance. Just telling you what you need to work.
Last one.
Ah, okay, good. Hip circles. You can work on functional balance on 2 feet as well. That's what we're gonna do next. Yep, thank you. Make sure your mic's on. Okay, so we're gonna take our left leg back behind us. Is that what we're doing? Right leg. Right leg back behind us. We're gonna work on, you can have your roller handy if you need it. We're gonna lift up our left heel. So this is now functional balance over 2 feet. And you can see the strength that's involved with this. So you're on tiptoe on both feet. You're gonna bend that front knee. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna start out with our sit-up as you suck in your tummy and then release. Suck in your tummy, then release. Don't rely on this roller. It's just there for fingertip balance. Smiles are up. Balance! This is what gets you in trouble wearing cork wedges. Okay, switch sides. You're taking this leg back behind you. You're on tiptoe on both feet. Both foots are in the air. Abs are nice and tight, suck in that tummy. And then you're just gonna do your sit-ups. Hold that balance. Notice if one side does it better than the other. Okay, we're switching sides again. This time you're not using your roller. We're only gonna do this 5 times because it's pretty intense. Heel goes up. So both heels are up. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy, so your left heel is up, right heel is up. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna hinge forward and come back up. This is function. So if you can't function in balance, you are falling over once you set yourself into motion. And you're relying too much on momentum, and we're gonna get you back into functional balance. Don't let the work go into your low back, so don't round your spine, in other words. Is that 5? Okay. Switch sides. Okay. Rear heel is off the ground. Now, front heel is off the ground. Abs are nice and tight, sucking your tummy. And here we go again. We're gonna hinge forward and then come back up. Yeah, get that balance. Notice if you're always falling over on one side. Whew. 5 it is. Stand back up, and we're hip circling once again. Functional balance is harder than regular balance. Opposite direction. Okay. We're gonna come down onto our, I guess it's our right knee. We're gonna first do this with our knee on the ground. That means eventually we're gonna do it with our knee off the ground, but we're gonna start out with the knee on the ground. Abs are nice and tight. Your core is on, your head is over top of your knee. And we're gonna hinge forward, and then we're gonna come back up. What number are we on?
10.
Okay. This one's especially important for Annie. You're gonna lift your knee 1 inch off the ground. Okay, we're balancing now. Functional balance, this is strength and stretch and balance and coordination. You're hinging forward. Do not use your spine. Your spine stays straight. You're using your butt and your quad. Sucking that tummy. Keep that knee floating off the ground about 1 inch. Good rest. This next one's going to be super intense because we're really going to work functional balance, and you see how strength is part of functional balance. And that's why we lose functional balance, is because we lose strength. So we're going back in that 1 inch lifted position, and now you're going to bring your knee to your chest and back down. 1 inch. 1 inch. You should feel your butt, you should feel your quad, and that's about it. Straight spine, hold your balance, your head barely moves. 10. Good, switch sides. Woo, you should feel fire in the booty. Fiero, fuego, whatever. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. You're gonna start out with the knee on the ground, hands back behind you, you're gonna hinge. Keep your spine straight. This is teaching you the proper mechanics. Head's over top of your knee. Keep breathing. Keep your pelvic floor on. Keep your abs on. Is that 10 yet?
10.
Okay, good. I am not ready for this. Y'all stop falling over. Nobody's falling over right now. Okay, we're gonna lift up 1 inch, Annie. 1 inch off of the ground. And then we're gonna do it again. We're gonna hinge forward. You're using your quad, you're using your butt, your abs are engaged. Shoulder blades are down and back. No pressure in your low back. No pressure in any joint. We're working muscles and not joints. So if you feel it in joints, you got to recruit more muscle. Drop more to your core. What number is that?
9, 10.
Okay, knee is back down. Whew. Okay, this is where we're going to use the strength portion of it, and you have to really use strength. You're not going to try to modify it to make it easier. You're going to stay at the same height in the same place as we lift up 1 inch off of the ground, and then bring our knee to our chest and then back down. Your head hardly moves. If your head's moving all over the place and your balance is shifting, you're doing too much. Okay. Good job, everyone. Did you feel your booties? I'll take that as a yes. Abs are nice and tight, hip circles. No blacking out, no redding out. Keep breathing. Yes, the door's opens. No, the back one's not.
G.
Hiya. And then go in the opposite direction. Okay, so we're gonna go once again back into right foot to the rear. We're gonna have the leg go out to the side now. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna lift this leg up. You're contracting your right butt cheek. Right hand is forward, left hand is back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. From here, you're gonna take it on the diagonal as you go from the outside in the rear to the inside in the front, your arm switch, and then back. 2, 3. We're doing the Charleston. 4, 5, 6, 7, abs. 8, 9, 10. Good job. Now, you're gonna bend your front knee. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy. Right hand is forward, left hand is back, you're lifting. Watch the knee alignment, don't let that knee come medial. Keep the front knee bent. Abs. We're working on everything that prevents you from falling over.
10.
Okay, now from here, across your body, and then back down. Don't straighten your left leg. That means your left booty is working as well now. Abs. So this is a sit-up as well. It's like you're running a turn. Okay. We're gonna switch sides first. Straight leg, starting out, abs are nice and tight, legs out to the side. You should feel contraction of your left booty cheek. Abs are nice and tight. Right hand, or left hand forward, right hand back as you lift, lower your leg. Keep breathing, keep smiling. Okay, from here, keep that leg out to the side as you now switch, as your leg goes cross midline. Make sure that knee goes higher than your hip. Hold that balance. No throwing up. Your head doesn't move for the most part. So if you feel your head going like this, you're throwing yourself up.
10.
Okay, good. Now we're gonna bend that front knee. Leg comes out to the side. Abs are nice and tight. Left hand forward, right hand back. You're gonna lift that leg up. Watch the alignment. Watch the little cheetah pushing off the ground. Don't push off the ground. Okay, and then here we go. Cross body, keep that right knee bent. You should feel work in your right booty cheek. Functional balance is fun. Good job. Hip circles, you'll need it. You're breathing. Opposite direction. Okay. Left leg is forward once again. Right leg is behind you, across midline now. Front leg is straight, rear leg is actually straight. Suck in your tummy. Do not bend your rear leg. You're gonna lift the whole leg off the ground using your, what is that? Your right glute max. Suck in that tummy. You should be out of breath by now. Okay. And then from here, right hand is forward. It's gonna do a switch as you take your leg to the outside. Inside, then outside. Feel the balance. Try to get your knee above the level of your hip. Hold your balance. That's functional balance. Number? I don't think Maria's counting correctly today. Okay, you're gonna bend your front knee now so it goes across midline. You're gonna keep the front knee bent. Abs are nice and tight. Rear leg is straight. This is the tricky part. You're gonna lift and lower that rear leg. Right hand is forward, left hand back. Smiles are up. Don't use your mouth. Okay, now cross midline. Keep the front leg bent, so your left leg stays bent. Really get that knee out. Out to the side. So you're really working that left booty cheek. What number are we on? Okay, woo! Fire! Okay, we're gonna do the other side now. Okay, legs across midline, front leg is straight first.
Straight.
Yeah, straight first. Abs are nice and tight, smiles are up. And then you're gonna lift lower. Left hand is forward, right hand is back. Smiles are up. Okay, now you're gonna shoot it across midline. Take it to the outside. Inside, outside. Notice if one side's easier. Inside, outside. Inside, outside. Abs on. What number? Maria can't count today. Okay. Give it a rest for a sec. Keep breathing. Just because you did something strenuous doesn't mean you get to hold your breath. Okay, we're gonna bend that front leg now. It stays bent. That's your right leg. Left leg is straight. It never, well, it'll bend later, but you're gonna lift lower, it's straight now. Left hand forward, right hand back. Nice. Okay, now we're gonna take it to the outside, outside, inside. Keep that front leg bent the whole time. The front knee really doesn't even move all that much. Woo! Hold your balance, time under tension. Abs are engaged. This is really activating the butt. Good job, everyone. Hip circles. You guys should feel your butt working today. This will help you with your pickleball, especially your low game. Or weeding.
Opposite direction.
Or harvesting vegetables. Okay. You're gonna come onto the block now. This is where it gets really fun. Once again, we're gonna watch the alignment of head over top of block. It stays there. Abs are nice and tight. Hip circles. Try not to move your head. It'll move, you can't help it, but you want to try to keep the majority of work in your core. Okay, opposite direction. So now we're going to remove two extremities. We're going to remove your knee and your foot, looking at functional balance, and really look how it comes through the core and how we cheat. Okay, hands go and stick them up. We're going to lift, hold, gently lower. Keep your core on. This is time under tension. It's easiest if you keep your head over top of block, but to do so you have to keep your abs engaged. Smiles are up. Nine.
7.
Okay, 7.
9.
What I said.
10.
Okay, good. We're gonna switch sides just because we're gonna need it. Okay, we're over the top of the block. Our head's over the top of the block, that is. Let me line up with the camera. Head's over the top of the block. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. We're starting out with our hip circles. Our goal is to not move your head because we're activating what's called the riding reflex. Riding reflex keeps your head level. So if you're hunting something and it moves, you don't lose focus of it. It's like it doesn't disappear.
Opposite direction.
And that is often the case why you can trick people. You make them turn their head. They don't know how to. Okay, hands and stick them up. As you lift that leg up, hold, gently lower. Notice if one side's easier than the other or you're falling over on one side more than the other. Make sure that foot doesn't turn out. We don't want that. Straight up, then straight down. Keep your core on, unlike what I'm doing. 10, good. We gotta switch sides again. Oh, I'm gonna do this so it's easier to see. We're gonna put a block underneath your, what is that, your left knee. You're gonna put your right block right next to your foot. Because we're really gonna look at functional balance now. It's gonna be ugly, I can tell. I'm tired. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna lift the foot up, bring it over a block, set it down, and then put it back. We're going back and forth over the top of the block. You're gonna work your balance. This is really looking at functional balance because we're doing something now. Like you're stepping over a small dog. Okay, good. We'll switch sides first. Block's right next to your foot. Abs are engaged. You're sucking your tummy. Hands are in, stick them up. We're gonna see if one side's better than the other. We don't want superior sides. We want balance. Over the top, bring it back. Woo! Keep your core on, unlike what I'm doing. This is with your knee and your foot removed, so you can't compensate into your knee or foot, which would explain some knee and foot injuries. Also would explain if you're overusing your shoulders and neck and shoulder injuries. Okay, good. We're gonna switch sides again. Maybe I'll move over this way a little bit. You're gonna put your block, wait, let's see, we're on our left knee, so you're gonna put the block off to the right. Your foot's in front of it, the block. This is important that we go over the top of the block and not around the block, and not just for the implications of what it means to go around the block, but we're gonna do it because it's good for us. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna lift that foot up, you're gonna take it, you're gonna put it back behind you, and then you're gonna bring it forward. Never going around the block. Because after you go around the block a few times, no one's gonna want you. Abs are nice and tight. Whew. What number is that?
5.
Oh my goodness. Make sure your foot's not doing anything weird. Ah. Functional.
Okay.
Okay, switch sides. It's hard to doing this functional stuff. Here we go. Lining everything up again. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna take that left foot back behind you, and then you're gonna bring it back forward without going around the block. Over the top of the block. There's much to be learned about going over the top of the block versus going around the block a few times. Notice if one side's easier than the other. Notice if it's going in your low back. Get it out of there by tightening your abs. Smiles are up. Uh-oh, error. Point deduction. Okay, good job. That was tiring. All right, let's do kneeling first. You're gonna stretch backwards. So your quad should be tired, not your knees. Your quad should be tired. Your butt should be tired. Not your low back, not your knees, not your ankles, not your toes, because we didn't use those guys. We used major muscles. We used the quads, butt, abs, and lats. Okay, sit up here, suck in your tummy and release. Suck in your tummy and release. Keep breathing. Okay, now curl your toes under. We're gonna do the same thing. Push those heels back if you feel too much pressure in those metatarsal heads. That's the trick. Just push those heels back. Engage your abs. Smiles are up. You're sucking in your tummy. Is mine going in? I see yours is going in. I wanna make sure mine is going in too. Okay. We're going to work 2 blocks and a ball because we're going to do some dynamic balancing off the pelvic floor. So we're going to sit on the ball or kneel on top of the ball on top of the... Anyways, get on top of your ball. It's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Make sure the ball's centered over a block so nothing bad happens. Okay, here we go. I'm going to bring my feet forward. Never mind. Squat. Squatting is much easier. We're going to squat on top of the ball. Abs are nice and tight. Chest is up. We're going to do sit-ups here. We're going to tighten the pelvic floor. So you're going to first squeeze the ball. Squeeze it really tight with that pelvic floor. Now add your abs as you suck in your tummy. Keep your chest up. Most importantly, keep that head over the top of the ball. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Okay, from here, we're gonna do some dynamic stabilization and balance. Okay, you're gonna lift, hold, gently lower, lift, hold. Remember, you're on a ball on top of 2 blocks. If you fall, just take the fall. But overall, try to stay on your center. Keep walking. You're working muscles and not joints. You shouldn't feel this in your knees or your back. Abs are nice and tight, chest is up. We're gonna straighten our right leg. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. Left hand goes forward, right hand goes backwards. That's how we counterbalance. Keep your chest up, you're gonna lift lower this leg. Abs. Chest up. Whoa. Okay, switch sides, same thing. Chest up, abs on. Don't bend your leg to lift it, so just lift it straight. So you have to learn to lift your extremity at full length because it's a life requirement. Keep your pelvic floor on, make sure you're not sitting on your tailbone.
Okay.
Good. Abs are nice and tight, hands will go in to stick them up. We're gonna bounce, bounce, bounce. This strengthens the pelvic floor, and it's just fun, see? Okay, here, interlock your fingers, hands go over the top of your head. You're now gonna move your rib cage. You can move your head on this one, but you have to stay over the top of the ball or you're gonna fall off center. This is a life skill. Keep your abs sucked in. And after this, Mario's gonna take us through some neck rotations on here, which is also functional balance because we have to be able to move our head without falling over. And we see it more than you think. People move their heads and they fall over. Okay, hands down. You wanna take us through it?
Okay. So we're just gonna take the head and rotate it back around to the front, just creating that circular motion. Now as your neck goes into flexion, really engage your pelvic floor and your lower abs. As it comes to the side, working through the obliques. Then as it goes into extension, you're going to engage your upper abs. So try and visualize creating a circular movement through your abdomen as your neck goes into the same rotation.
There may be crunching and grinding, but your goal is to figure out what muscles you have to stabilize to stop that crunching and grinding.
Keep breathing. Try to really engage those lower abs as your neck comes into flexion. And transitioning to your upper abs as you come into extension. Coordinating our breath. And then going in the opposite direction again, starting with engaging your lower abs as your neck is in flexion. Engaging through your obliques, upper abs as you go into extension. Visualize that circular movement with your cervical spine. At the same time, creating that same circular engagement through your abdomen.
So what you're finding out is the abs protect the neck. The neck doesn't protect the neck. And the beauty of it is you should have felt your eustachian tubes in your ears start to release, and you could hear them crackle as it started drainage out of your eustachian tubes and down into your throat. You probably felt your sinuses open up, but you're also pumping a lot of movement across your thyroid. And that's why the abdomen is so much involved with the thyroid functioning. We're gonna just do two more basic things. Hold on to your knees as you go into extension, keep your abs engaged. Working what Maria said, the upper abs, and then flexion, the lower abs and the pelvic floor. We're just breaking it apart.
Really try to contract your pelvic floor and lower abs as you come into flexion. And exhale, engage your upper abs as you come into extension. You should really start to feel the heat build up through your core.
And without knowing it, you guys are doing sit-ups. Okay, now we're gonna go side to side. So we're gonna work the obliques, like Maria said. Use your obliques to stabilize your neck. On this one, you can really feel the pull into the back of your throat and your eustachian tubes. So when your ears get clogged, you're probably not moving your head around as much as you could, or you're suddenly starting to move it around when it's been sedentary the whole rest of the day. Keep those abs engaged.
Try to feel your spine elongate as you come through center.
Keep those abs on. Okay, we're now going to do arm motion. We're just going to move one arm around. And you can move it in various planes, but feel what it feels like to keep your balance on. Go back behind you. Notice that same ab connection that Maria mentioned with the neck, only now we're doing it with the shoulder. Oh, I didn't know the shoulder was connected to the abs. Well, yes it is. Yes it is. When we stopped wearing capes as a society, that's when we lost this connection. Because you can only do this if you wear a cape. You can take it up over top really lean, and you can take it over to the side, put your hand on Maria's head. Just get everything moving, because nothing in the human body has a single function. You're opening up blood flow and lymphatic to this lung, your heart, your liver, your stomach, spleen, pancreas, and gallbladder, and your thyroid and thymus. Okay, other side wants to move too. Just go slow and feel everything. There should be no cracking or popping, crunching, or grinding. Notice where your body's not moving enough, where you need to incorporate your abs to stabilize your shoulder. So there was only one person that truly understood my life's existence. I was in Uahi Grill back when it was on Achilles Street, and this young kid comes in and his hair is going all different directions. He's Asian, and he says to me, "How have you mastered it? How have you done it?" And I'm like, "What's that?" He's all, "You have mastered keeping your hair controlled, and it's Asian hair." And I'm like, I have a ton of product in my hair, and if open flame gets near me, I'm gonna Michael Jackson into history. And he's also like, "Oh, I need your," and for the longest time we corresponded by email because he wanted to know about hair products to keep his wiry chicken hair down. And we got it under control. Okay. This is why I don't let Maria touch my head. Because it will fracture the helmet of gel I have on my head. Sucking your tummy, shoulder blades down and back. We're going to go again for a walk, opposite hand, opposite foot. Keep breathing. This is over time why we stop running, because we have to get into hip flexion, knee flexion, keep the spine long, and keep our core stabilized. And we're going to sprint now. Make sure it's opposite hand, opposite foot. It's harder than you think. And good. We're going to put our hands on our knees. We're going to recover. As we come up, you should feel your pelvic floor now. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. Close up your rib cage. We're going to do sit-ups here. You're sucking in your tummy and then releasing. Sucking in your tummy and release. Suck in your tummy, release. Yeah. Okay, let's come to the ground. You know what's really cool is I have this master hairstylist now that's way better than anyone I paid top dollar to, which is Maria. She cuts my hair.
And I don't get paid.
You get paid. You get paid. Okay, legs go out in front of you. You're putting the ball behind the small of your back. We're just finishing out with some sit-ups. You guys have done a lot without even knowing it, because you did functional sit-ups by doing functional balance. That's the beauty of functional exercise. You're working everything. When you're doing exercises and you're falling off balance, you don't feel stable, or one muscle group gets overly sore, you're not doing functional exercises, you're doing isolated exercises. Nothing's wrong with that, but we gotta always bring it back to functionality. And that's why it's always interesting when I see these huge, gigantic bodybuilders and they have no balance, because they've isolated muscles and they haven't reintegrated it into coordinated motion. That's what we're going to do right now. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy and releasing. Sucking your tummy. You're trying to pop the ball with your spine by tightening your abs. Wow, is that real sweat? So back when I lived in Santa Barbara, I noticed that people started coming into the gym around 6:30. So to make it look like I worked out really hard, I used to get a spritz bottle and I'd spritz myself with water so it looked like I was really sweaty. So everyone would be impressed with how hard I was working out. Remember that in case you get a gym membership. Suck that tummy in. Okay, now we're gonna take it in coordinated motion. The ball's gonna go underneath your booty. Your butt's off the ground. Abs are nice and tight. Now that ski season's over, we're gonna work on some skiing elements. Feet come off the ground. You're gonna twist to the left, twist to the right. You're just going back and forth. You're using your abs. This is functional motion. And you really want your knees or your shins parallel to the ground when you go side to side. Parallel, parallel. This way you're using your obliques. You're using the transversus and rectus abdominis. Ooh, that was a microphone. Ouch. Did I hurt it? Is it still on? Okay. Just go back and forth because it's fun. Okay, come back to center. So now you felt like what it felt like to go off to one butt cheek. So we're going to go off to one butt cheek. And what you're going to do is extend one leg and then extend the other. Functional balance once again. Remember. Okay, switch to the other side. Whoa. You're on the other side. We're going to do the same thing. Extend and extend and extend and extend. This is making you use your obliques functionally, but it's also balance because you're trying to minimize work by staying on your center point. That's 10? Oh, good. Okay, ball goes in the small of your back. You're gonna arch over the top of the ball. You're gonna rock from side to side. Remember to breathe. Keep your abs engaged even though we're doing a stretch. That way you open up your psoas muscle if you accidentally used it. Whew. Okay, and now put the ball underneath your sacrum as we bend our knees. Shoulder blades are down and back. You're going to take the legs straight up in the air. Here we go. Now you're going to try to touch your right hand to your left foot. Yes, your upper body will come up slightly. You have to hold your center because this is functional balance as well as ab activation. Don't overuse your neck. We're using our abs. Our abs are not in our neck. Notice if it's easier to touch the toes on one side versus the other. Remember that? Okay, good. And then stretch your legs out again. Rock from side to side. Keep breathing. Okay, and finally, we're gonna roll onto the roller on our backs. Ugh. I'm gonna change out the music because you guys did an awesome job. As you're on your roller, your feet are parallel, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the ground. Make sure your butt's on the roller and your head's on the roller. And you're breathing. Here's the thing that's really interesting. I want you to feel the skin of your face and make sure the skin is just relaxing. We always have it pulled down because we follow gravity. We're still following gravity, but we're going in a direction we usually don't go. And I'm trying to push the curtain off of me because the wind just shifted. We're having some of the funkiest weather in Hawaii. It's kind of cold and damp in the morning, and then it becomes sticky and damp in the earlier part of the morning, and then it becomes like hot and muggy by afternoon, and then it's really just hot and muggy and uncomfortable all through the evening until it's cold again. But the important thing in thermal regulation is actually breathing. So breathe in and out. So what makes your balance functional is an act as simple as breathing. So we're going to finish out with just taking your arms into the air. Notice what your breathing's like as your arms go into the air. Notice if you're shaking and shimmying more. Correct your breath, correct your balance, stabilize through your core, create coordination as well as stretch and strengthening. So a tetrahedron is a triangular pyramid and it has 4 points. So that's the principles of the human body. We have stretch, we have strengthening, we have balance, and we have coordination. From that, we could create a stable structure in which to move through life, which seems interesting. Why would we want a rigid structure to move through life? But the tetrahedron is what we move through life with. And the fluid fluidness that a dancer has comes from that same tetrahedron. So breathe. And pull everything towards your center. You can bring your arms to the ground now and just breathe. You guys stay on the roller. I'm going to come off to bring you guys home. So it's not merely creating a life of balance. It's a balance. Balance is stretch. It is strength. It is that piece that is balance and coordination. You need all those in order to have a complete life. There are certain things we do really well. We can balance based upon our vision, or we have strength but we don't have flexibility, or we have excessive flexibility but we have no strength or coordination, or we have strength and stretch and what feels like static balance but we don't have coordination. Coordination is balance into motion. So these are the pieces that make us successful into life, and we've worked on those today, and you're going to see how much it worked your butt and your core. But these are also pieces that we have to look at in our own life as we function, because we get good at one aspect of our life and we don't complete the other aspects of our life. And then we have balance and disarray in our own life as well as our physical body. So on behalf of Maria, Wolfie, and I, we just want to say thank you for being here. We appreciate you so much, your willingness, your openness, and your support. And on behalf of Maria and me, we'd like to say thank you and namaste. Ooh, you're motorized. Ooh. Oh. More? You're trying to get me not mad.